Okay, it's 1 o'clock. I think we'll get us started. So this is Ed Crow. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to today go over Cigna and Nationwide's individual standalone dental plans, good for people of any age, including 65 plus. And I'm going to give you kind of an overview and the highlights of both plans. Try to give you what I really try to do on something like this is give you an idea of if it's something you want to sell or not, if you see value in it. Just give you a better idea about both products, and we'll kind of do a little bit of comparing between the two. So if you haven't been on my webinar before, I do record all these, so if anybody who registers for our webinars will get the recording. So for future reference, if you want to attend one of our webinars on a various topic, but you can't make it at that time, just register and we will get you the recording. Also, just a couple house cleaning items here. Also, if you have questions, just send them into the webinar. I will answer all the questions, or try to, I should say, answer all the questions at the end when we're done. And this webinar should run about 20 minutes. I don't see it going much longer than that, if at all. So having said that, I think I'll get us started. Again, it's Ed Crow. We're going to talk about Cigna and Nationwide. We'll go over the Cigna and Nationwide dental benefits of the plans, talk about networks. That comes up a lot. Compensation, there's been a positive change on the Cigna side, actually a very positive one. Contracting and enrollment, and then at the end, just some things to know about dental plans. Maybe for those who sell them a lot and know them well, this won't be new info for you, but it is for some people. It's questions I get a lot from agents regarding dental, and some things that I think would be helpful for you to know in the individual and group, for that matter, dental world. So let's get started. So first, we'll start with the Cigna dental plan. So this plan has been available for quite a while on an individual basis. Like most dental plans, the rates started off really low for a while. They've gone up a bit over the years, but it's still very competitive compared to the other stuff out there. The Cigna dental plan, one thing that's very unique about it is it is available in all 50 states. So Cigna offers 3 plans. They're all PPO platforms. They're available to people of any age, including 65 plus. So they have a preventative plan. I'll talk about that in a minute. A dental 1,000 and a dental 1,500. When I say 1,000 or 1,500, that just represents the annual max of the plans. So the 1,000 is 1,000, 1,500 is 1,500. Regarding the preventive plan by Cigna, they've had it around forever. But they had a window of the last, I think, 2 or 3 years where there was no comp when you sold it. They used to have comp on it, but then they took it away. Well, they've brought it back now. It doesn't pay quite as much as the 1,000 and 1,500, but they brought it back, which is great, and it's available now. Okay, so we'll start with the preventive plan, again, which is now available, and you can sell it and get paid for it. So it's your basic preventive plan. So it covers oral exams, 2 cleanings a year, and x-rays 100%. But, and this is true of any dental plan, realize when it says 100% coverage, it's 100% with in-network dentists. So it is a PPO platform, but if you go out of network on this plan, it's not 100% coverage. And that's the case with pretty much any dental plan. The benefits listed are if you're in network, and we're going to get into details on that in a few minutes. But going out of network costs more than I think people realize. So, as is the case with most preventive plans, the other benefits, basic and major services. So basic things like filling, simple extractions, major services, big stuff, crowns, bridges, implants, things like that. They're not covered, so to speak, on a preventive plan. Just the preventive stuff is. However, you still get the discount. So if you're using an in-network dentist, you will still get the discount on those bigger services, even though they're not covered. You get the negotiated price, and that discount can be worth a lot. In many cases, it can be worth more than actually the dental benefit of a plan. And they will range with Cigna from 25 to 65% discount. If the dentist is in network, you'll get it. And it's substantial on the major services, which is where the big money is. So, for example, a lot of dentists, and this depends on your state, like if somebody's in Kentucky, they're going to think I'm nuts when I say this, but those in like Connecticut, New York, New Jersey know what I'm talking about. A Crown, for example, let's say it's billed at $2,300 normally. An in-network dentist on the preventive plan, the discounted amount will be like $900, $950 in that range. So discount's worth a great deal, and there is no out-of-pocket or there is no benefit max on the discount. So the Cigna Preventive Plan is a good plan for dentists that are in network. It's great for the cleanings, the x-rays, those kind of things, but then really the underappreciated benefit is the discount you'll get on the bigger services. All right, so that's the preventive plan, and that is commissionable again. Going forward, it wasn't for the last few years. That was a big seller for us, though, prior to it not paying commission. So then you have the Cigna 1000 and 1500. Not sure why I put a comma on the 1500, not the 1000. Don't read into that too much, please. But I'm kind of laying these plans out together because they're more or less the same. I mean, the only difference, again, is the 1000 is $1,000 annual max. The 1500 is $1,500. So both plans cover preventative at 100%. So 2 cleanings a year, x-rays, oral exam. They cover basic services at 80%. And basic, from company to company, basic's almost always the same. More or less, that is fillings, simple extractions, and full mouth x-rays fall under basic. And then major services are covered at 50%. And that's, again, your big stuff, bridges, crowns, implants, surgery, those kind of things are 50% coverage. And on the 1000 plan, those services would be covered up to $1,000 of benefit for the year. The 1500 plan, same benefits. The only difference is on the 1500, they throw an ortho benefit in there as well. Both plans have a 6-month wait on the basic and a 12-month wait on the major, which is really industry standard on standalone dental plans. Now, what's nice about Cigna is that 6 and 12-month wait is waived if you had continuous previous coverage. So if you had a dental plan and then take the Cigna one, those waiting periods will be waived. Be careful, though. When you read the fine print on these dental plans, they needed continuous coverage. So if the client disenrolled from the previous dental plan on the 15th and took the Cigna plan on the 1st, you're going to have trouble getting those waiting periods waived. But the wait, again, is only applicable to basic and major and waived if you have previous coverage. And again, if you have questions, please just send them into the webinar, and I'll answer at the end for you. Okay, so that's the Cigna plan. Remember, 3 plans, preventative, 1000, 1500. The nationwide plan. So this is Nationwide's National Care Dental Plan. Available in 37 states. It's not in New York. I do see some New York people on this call. It was right up until recently, and then they pulled it for whatever reason. It's included for all ages up to, including age 65 plus. They offer 3 PPO plans. So they offer a 1500, a 3000, and a 5000. So again, the benefits are going to be pretty much standard that you're used to seeing, cookie cutter benefits on every plan. Again, PPO platform, same benefits. The only difference between more or less between the 1500, 3000, and 5000 is the annual max of 15, 3, or 5. So it's going to cover 100% preventative. Again, standard stuff. 80% on the basic services, and they have the same list of basic services, which would be fillings, simple extractions, full mouth x-rays. And they cover 50% on major services. One notable thing on the nationwide is they do include denture repair, which is a little unique. Not a lot of dental plans do that. They do not have a waiting period on type 1 and 2 services, meaning preventative and basic have no waiting period. Okay, so one other thing I just wanted to mention. I meant to put it in there, and I guess I forgot. There is no waiting period on preventative and basic. There is a 12-month waiting period on major services on this plan. Again, that's pretty standard. Nationwide will waive that 12-month waiting period on major services if you have previous coverage, just like they will on the Cigna plan. So I'll give you an example of rates here. Nationwide uses national rates, so that's kind of nice in some regards because it doesn't change from state to state. So an example of their rates is their 1500 plan. Single rates $49, member and children $96, couples $89, and family $134. So obviously these rates are very competitive in northern states. They won't look quite as good in southern states, some southern states, I should say. They don't increase a great deal if you move up to the 3,000 or 5,000 max plan. It's about $10 on each tier for each move up. So, for example, if you went from the 1,500 to the 3,000 plan, those rates go up about $10. If you went from the 3 to the 5, they go up about another 10. Just to give you an idea. Cigna's harder to do from a rate standpoint. Now we do have, which we'll send out, we do have a product blog for the Cigna product, which has the rates for every product with Cigna, all three in every single state, or just about all of them, I should say. And we will send that out when we send a recording of this webinar out to you, so you have them that way. But in general, the Preventive plan ranges from $14 per person per month to $25, depending on the state you're in. For example, like Alabama's $14 in most areas, New York's $25 in a lot. The $1,500 plan, same idea, ranges depending on the state you're in from $40 on the low end to $57 for the more expensive states, and it's also age-based. The rates I gave you here are for people 65 plus. The rates certainly are lower for younger people. Oh, I guess I just tossed in for no apparent reason on the nationwide. I thought I'd put in the 12-month wait. I guess I put it here. It is a 12-month wait on major, and the waiting periods are waived with continuous coverage. Okay, so those are the benefits. Give you a general idea about the rates. What about the networks? So Cigna uses their national PPO network. That is a huge boon to them because it's one of the biggest networks in the country. Certainly Delta is bigger, but Cigna is a large network. Now, keep that in perspective. This isn't like the network on a health plan or a Medicare plan where, it has 85 or 90% of the doctors. Dental networks are near that, are robust, but Cigna is certainly one of the better ones. So that's a strength of the Cigna plan. And of course, the fact that it's approved in New York as well. Nationwide uses the Maximum Care PPO network. So it's a network they specifically created for this product. And it takes three networks and smushes them into one. So it takes the Connection, Carrington, and Dynamax network. All three of those networks on their own are kind of like the usual stinky dental network. They're not great. But when you combine the three, it makes for one of the bigger PPO networks in the country. Certainly not as strong as Cigna's, but it makes for a good network nonetheless. All right, so that was the talk about the network. Let's go to commissions. So Cigna recently had a commission change. With Cigna now going forward, agents will be paid, existing agents and new ones, agents will be paid full street level commission. So that's the full commission Cigna pays. They made that very hard for us to do in the past, but now it's no problem. So full commission will be paid. And the amounts are, they'll pay 20% for new cases on the 1,000 and 1,500 plan, and 20% means 20% for the first year. They'll pay 10% for new preventive cases. So 20% on the 1,000 and 1,500, 10% on new preventive cases, and then 10% on all renewals. So in the past, Cigna commissions were front-loaded and they were advanced so that you got paid for 9 months at a time or sometimes a year. What they're going to do now is they're going to pay as earned. So the commission went up quite a bit, and they added a lot to the renewal. But they're not doing the advancing anymore. So it will be paid out every month as earned, but you will get 10% renewal on all your cases going forward on the commission. And the renewal in the past was so small we didn't even pay it. It was hardly anything, but now it'll add up to something, which is nice. Commissions for Nationwide, this is kind of where the Nationwide plan stands out. I mean, it has very good commissions. Their street commission is 17% level, and that's new and renewal, so it's just always 17%. The other nice thing about Nationwide is their commissions are paid direct to you as the agent. So they don't pay us and make us pay you. They pay it direct to you, which is great. Cigna will not do that. With Cigna, they pay us. We have, in the past, we processed all those Cigna payments. We now have a system for it, so we feel confident it'll be very smooth. But for Nationwide, you don't have to worry about that. You're going to get paid direct. Nationwide also pays as earned. And the street commission is 17% in Nationwide, but we have a lot of flexibility with agencies there. So if you have a general agency, a GA, MGA, SGA, we've got 3 extra levels. For those, you got to qualify. The GA, as long as you got a couple subs, I can put you on there. MGA and SGA is requires a few more subs, but just give us a call if you have a question about that, and we can get you fairly high above that street level so you can have an override for multiple layers of agencies and agents. Contracting and enrollment. So contracting used to be very difficult with Cigna. It's now gotten better as well. Quite simply, if you want to be contracted, you just call or email us, and we'll get you set up. Basically, you just say, I want to get set up. Talk to us about the level. Cigna will be street. If you're an agency, Nationwide will be street unless you're an agency, and then we'll kind of talk about what level you qualify for. But once you call us or email us, we'll just send you out a link, and you'll be contracted. Cigna used to require that you send in an app for them to contract you. They no longer do that, which is going to make it a whole lot easier. You can just let us know you want to get set up, and we'll set you up. So contracting has become a lot more simple with Cigna, and it's always been pretty easy with Nationwide. So enrollments, so once you're set up, how do you actually enroll people? Both carriers have electronic enrollment links. So they have sites specific to you, agent enrollment sites, that you get once you're contracted, and that link can be sent to a client so they can click on the link and enroll themselves, or you could enroll them through the link as well, and you can also put that link on a website because it's coded to you if you want to put it on a site and promote one of these dental plans. So both companies are online enrollment, and once you're set up, you'll have access to that Pearl so you can enroll people in whatever manner you want online. So I wanted to talk about, I get this a lot, I wanted to talk about out-of-network on a PPO for a minute. So some of you probably are familiar with this, but they're both PPO plans. So, people will tend to think, well, I can go to an out-of-network dentist then. Well, you got to be careful with that because the biggest amount of complaints we get for dental is from that. So out-of-network will only be covered based on let me say it a different way. If you go out of network, you're just going to be covered at the percentage, but the coverage is only going to be based on the negotiated rates. I actually typed it right out and just should have said it. And I'll give you an example of that. So if somebody goes out of network for maybe basic services at 80%, okay? So an example of that would be you go to that out-of-network dentist, and maybe you're getting a filling, and that dentist usually charges $250 for a filling. But the in-network dentist on that plan, that rate is negotiated at $100. So, for example, Cigna says we only give $100 for a filling in network, and that's a negotiated rate. Well, when they say they're covering 80%, they're only going to cover 80% of the in-network negotiated rate. So that dentist who's out of network that charges $250 is only going to get $80 from Cigna, and they're going to balance bill the client for the difference. So your client's going to get billed for $170. Because if you were in network, that rate would be negotiated at $100. Cigna would give them $80. They'd bill your client $20. But out of network, they can charge what they want, and there's going to be substantial balance billing when you go out of network on any PPO plan, any PPO dental. So if you go out of network, a lot of times that's going to cause dissatisfaction with your clients. Other questions: what if somebody's in network? Dentists cannot balance bill. They have to accept the negotiated rate. So they can't say, they only give me $950 on a crown. I charge $2,000. If they're in network, they've got to accept that $950 is the full reimbursement rate. Out-of-network dentists don't have to. Keep in mind, negotiated discounts are huge. Even if a dental plan's benefits run out, so if you use your annual max, you still get the negotiated rates, and for an in-network dentist, that can make a massive difference. Be careful of a dentist saying to somebody, yes, we take the plan, versus we are in network with this plan. So a lot of times people will go to a dentist and say, look, I have Nationwide's PPO. And the dentist will say, oh, we take that. It's a PPO. That doesn't mean they're in network, though. Yeah, they'll take it and bill it and then balance bill. But you got to educate your clients to, if they're talking to a dentist, they have to say to the dentist, you'll take it, but do you participate in the network of it? So you got to clarify when you're talking to clients and when they're talking to dentists. Overall, my general opinion on this is I sold dental plans for years. I think dental plans make a lot of sense if the dentist is in the network. If they're in the network, the prices are negotiated, they can't balance bill. It's a tougher argument to make when it's out of network. It sounds great, the idea of an out-of-network benefit. And still, I certainly know a lot of agents that do sell plans, for people with out-of-network dentists, and that's fine. But it will generate a lot of, some complaints because they're going to get balance billed quite a bit. But in network, it makes sense. I get the question about discount plans a lot. Yeah, they work. Like Cigna's Preventive plan is a discount plan, basically, more or less. They work fine because as long as you're in the network, it negotiates the rate, so it can save a lot of money. And then I had already mentioned this before, but if you're in network on a plan, even if you've maxed the annual max benefit, you'll still get the negotiated rate, which can actually be more than the benefit in a lot of cases, especially people getting like crowns, implants, partials, that kind of thing. Okay, that's it. I wanted to do a quick run through of it. I went over a few minutes, but I think I did okay. So that's a quick review of the two standalone plans, two of the more popular ones sold, and just wanted to give you a run through. Let me see if we have any questions here. Yeah, we do. We have a couple questions. Okay, yeah, good question. Ed, do these Cigna plans go away when they announce the flexible choice DVH Cigna plans? No, they will not. We will offer the flexible choice DVH. I'm not a huge fan from what I've seen, but no, these plans should stay. Ed, is the Nationwide plan through, and there's a name. No, the Nationwide plan, we have that contract. It's not through anybody else. Crow and AmeriLife has that deal. We've a very high level NMO contract with them, so we can set you up with that, and we have plenty of room for levels. Question is, do Medicare Advantage plans with dental coverage count as continuous coverage? That's an awesome question. Yes, it can, and it can count if it's a full dental plan. So if it's a Medicare Advantage plan that covers preventive, basic, and major, then yes, that would count as previous coverage. If it's a Medicare Advantage plan that is like Aetna's Elite plan, for example, where it's just a reimbursement plan, they just indemnity-based 50% reimbursement, that would not count. Or if it's a preventive and basic only plan, that wouldn't count. It's got to be a full dental plan, but if it is through an MAPD, that would count. Is renewal paid on an existing book of business? Yes. Let's see what else we got for questions. Okay, and then a question not related to this, so I'll leave that one out. Okay, let's see if we got any more questions. I think that looks to be it. I think that's it. So it doesn't look like we have any other questions, so I appreciate you coming on today. If you have any questions, just give us a call here at the office, 203-796-5403, or shoot us an email. Otherwise, I appreciate you coming on, and I think that's it. So everybody, I hope you have a great day and appreciate your time. Thanks. Bye.